Welcome back, you guys. In this video, we're going to edit my one light headshots on white. So I have my photos queued up in Evoto AI. Now, the first thing I do is I just like to zoom in a little bit and get an idea for how the crop is going to look. I won't actually hop over here to the crop section and do the final crop until closer to the end, but I just like to zoom in and get a rough idea. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just start working my way down this portrait retouching section in the software. Okay. Now this one over here, freckles and acne. So if you zoom into the face, if you do want to start taking the edge off some of the acne, what I do is I drag the slider up. That's going to get rid of acne. But one thing you need to know is that it brings up this freckles slider at the same time, and that makes the skin texture go away. So I don't use that at all. I want the skin texture and I want freckles if someone has them. So I bring that back to 0, but I leave the acne one up at 100 to begin. Okay. And then I have to just use my judgment. If it looks too fake or I pushed it too far, I'll back it off a little bit. But I'm going to say somewhere around there is going to be just fine for now. And then we're going to work our way down again, like I said. So the next thing is this reduce face shine over here. And I do see some hot spots that I think we could work on. So if we move that slider, let's go all the way to 100 and see what it does. Yeah, so that really takes the edge off of those hot spots. So, you know, it's not bad to have some of those. If it's just looking like it's too much, maybe you want this at 50 or 60 or so. Like if you take it to 100, maybe that's too far and maybe a little too phony. So back it off a little bit. There's nothing wrong with a little highlight. So let's leave it about, let's go 70 and we'll leave it there for now. Okay. So then let's zoom in. Let's work on the eyes a little bit because we can see here dark circles and eye bags. So let's take the dark circles up. And yeah, it does take the edge off. So I'm going to leave that for now. Eye bags, let's see. I like that too. So it just kind of depends on your subject. If this was a shot of myself, for example, I would 100% go to the eyes and fix up, you know, all these things. But depending, you know, you may want to have the conversation with your client or with the model if they're comfortable you doing that, or if there's something specific they want you to work to fix up. Okay, anyways, let's keep going. So lip wrinkles and flakes. Yeah, I wouldn't actually mind checking that out. Let's just move that slider and see what it does. Not bad. I'm going to back that off. Sometimes you don't want things full blast because it's too phony, but a little bit is not a bad idea. So let's do that, 45 or 50. And then let's keep going. Let's see what else we can do. Then I'm going to move down to this next section here called skin retouching. So there's a few specific things that I do like to do. For instance, this sculpt, dodge, and burn, I'm going to bring that up. And you can see it kind of enhances the shadow areas and the highlights. It's kind of like a form of contrast. So not full blast though. I don't think it's necessary to do full blast. Maybe about 50 is not bad. Okay. Then let's keep going. Now, okay, this takes us to a good spot. This AI Unify Face Complexion. So if we move the slider a little bit up, if there's any like seriously different colored parts of the skin, this kind of brings it to match the other colors. So you could see on the forehead, there's this darker spot over here. If we bring that up, that kind of blends it in to meet the other colors on the forehead. And I don't mind that. So I will keep that where it is. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is this AI Unify Body Complexion. If we move the slider, yeah, we're going to notice it makes the rest of her skin kind of match the tone of her face. And I don't mind that. Not that far, but I am going to use a little bit of that. Now, before we go too far, let's just do a quick before and after. So this little guy here, if we click on this, we can see where we started and where we're at now. So it's good to do that to check in with things and see, you know, in case you've taken it too far. So if I zoom in, let's see. Yeah, it's definitely come a long way, and I'm definitely into that. Okay, let's keep working down this portrait retouching section. So the next thing that I'm going to be looking for is the eyes. I want to see if we can get just a little more brightness in the eyes. So when you open that up, you do have this brightness area. Let's zoom in a little bit and let's bring this guy up. Now, when you're working on the eyes, you do have to be careful. If you go too far, it looks a little fake, or a lot fake even. So just be careful. Do it subtly. So maybe about 37 or 40 here would be just fine. We could do a before and after. So yeah, it just adds a little bit of brightness and pop to the eyes. So I'm going to leave that there. We'll back it out. Looks good. And let's keep going. Yeah, okay, so the final thing I'm going to do here is open up the hair section, and we're going to see if we can get rid of some stray hairs. So if there's any sort of frizzies or things that we want to see if we can take the edge off, you can just take this guy, bring it up, and it does get away. It does take care of some of the frizzies. Now, I will say when you're doing that, you should take a look and see, does it look real or does it look a little phony? Because if it looks a little phony, back it off. Don't do it fully at 100. So I'm thinking in this case, let's do maybe just 50%. Here's our before, after. Okay, now I'm really happy with how this is looking, and I think I'm gonna actually do a crop. I'm gonna hop down here and let's start to get this thing ready for export. So I'm gonna do the crop. And you have to make some decisions. Where is it going to go? If it's going to go on a website, are you the one choosing the final crop, or do you want to give it to the client a little wider and give them the opportunity to crop it further? These are things you're going to have to work out. But let's start like this. That's not bad. So if I was going to hand this off to the client, I might give them something wider so that they have, if they ever needed to do a cutout, there's enough room on either side that they can do a cutout for whatever advertising they need to do. Then they can also further crop if they need to. Like technically for a headshot, you would want to crop it chest and up, something a little more like this. Maybe give a little headroom, and definitely take your time on crops. Like put some good thought into it. Don't rush it. You may also need to find out, is there other headshots on their website, and match what those shots look like. So there is an art to getting the perfect crop, and then make sure it's centered as well. So I think a headshot should be more in this realm, give or take. We could probably bring it even closer, but I'm actually going to go back to what I originally said. And when I do hand it off to her, I want to give her some options. That gets us a little bit closer. I'm going to hop over here to background adjustments. Now, one thing I will do is I'm going to enhance the white. Now, this point I talked about in our actual headshot video is because I wasn't lighting the backdrop in the shoot. So if I need to get it a little more close to pure white, I can click on this guy here in their backdrop changer section. And that makes it a full-on pure white. Now, it is too much. Like I can tell right off the bat, it's way too much. And I'm not going to use it at full blast. I'm going to bring it down to not even a lot, maybe like 15 to 20, somewhere in there. Like that. And if we go before and after, it's super subtle. It does fix up some of the darker spots at the bottom over here. And I'm just going to play with that a little more, actually. Let's just bring it up closer to the 20. Yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. Okay, that looks good to me. Here's before, here's after. So we have actually come a long way. Okay, so next I'm gonna hop up over here to color adjustments. I actually just wanna bump up our exposure just a smidge. So I'm just gonna use this general exposure, not very much at all, like just about like that is all it needs. I just felt we just need to pop her out just a little bit more. So here's before, and here's after. Before, after, yeah, that looks real good. Okay, so essentially that's it. That's all I want to do. Again, I'm going to give her this wider version, and then she has options to crop. And if you wanted it closer in, you'll make that decision. Now, just so you can see, there's a few more things I would do creatively just to check it out. I'm a huge fan of black and white photos, and typically I actually do give my clients a black and white version of their headshots as well. And I don't usually charge for that because it's just one slider. So if you ever want to make a quick black and white, go down here to your saturation and just bring it all the way to 0. And now you have a really nice black and white. From there, if you wanted to, you could add a little contrast, just a smidge. It's not totally necessary. Like we could have actually just left it as it was, but just for a little pop, we can add just a little bit of contrast. So if we go back and bring the saturation up, there's our color. And there's our black and white. So I'm going to export the color, export, JPEG full size. We'll just put it on my desktop for now. And then I'm going to export a saturation down. So the black and white version. We'll do that. I'm going to put it on the desktop for now as well. Okay, perfect. So let's check out our final exports. So we've got the color version. Awesome. That looks really good. Yep, I'm happy. I think she's going to love these. And then we've got our black and white. Beautiful. Okay, super simple. Evoto is magic when you're doing this stuff. It really saves you a ton of time. And that's it. We'll see you guys in the next video.